Okay, hello everyone. My name is Julie. Don't have a title for this. I don't have anything really prepared. I'm just here to share knitting and crochet and fun stuff, creativity with everybody. The way I'm going to try to do this, I'm in the Navy, I'm active duty Navy, and I'm stationed on board a ship. So I don't have internet a lot of the time. Therefore, I took a couple videos a couple months ago when we were underway to try to start this off that just showed my projects and what I was working on. And I thought it would be kind of fun to bring everybody along. I didn't take any videos when I was in the Netherlands because that would have been smart and I didn't do it. So anyway, the whole idea is I'm going to take videos when I'm on deployment, splice them all together, post a video when I get a chance, when I get back in port. So yeah, been in the Navy for 17 years. I am a chief. I enjoy my job. Anybody that's in kind of gets it. The tempo is a bit high. It's a bit crazy, but it's one of the easiest jobs I've ever had in my life. I joined a little late, so I appreciate it for everything that it has given me and the experiences it's given me. It's been great. Yeah, I've been knitting since 2008. I actually taught myself with a book and a skein of Malabrigo yarn in this beautiful eggplant purple. Is great. I ordered it when I was on deployment on the USS Peleliu in 2008. And I read a fictional book about knitting and my great-grandmother knit. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to do this. So I made what most people make, a scarf, and it was horrific. No, I do not still have it. But, I mean, it taught me how to knit. I don't even know if YouTube was around. It might have been, but I probably didn't use it. Because, again, not very good internet. Yeah, so I knit a scarf, and then I was a terrible knitter for years. And then I started to get better because I challenged myself. And I would say it wasn't until about 2015, maybe 2014 that I really started to get into it. 2016, I took a nosedive into the community. I didn't know there was a community. I knew about Ravelry, but I didn't know about like YouTube and podcasts and all that amazing stuff. So took a deep dive into that and have been challenging myself ever since. Collecting yarn, knitting, which are, by the way, two totally different hobbies. So in case anybody was wondering, I have a mini yarn store in here. Maybe someday I'll show you. This is just a small portion of what I have. I love yarn. It makes me happy. It's beautiful. And yeah, that's when I kind of discovered hand-dyed yarn and all that. So you're going to see a couple videos at the end of this, and then hopefully I'll pop back in and say goodbye. But they're just a couple videos from a couple months ago of me underway. I will warn you, the background noise is kind of there. It's the engines on the ship running, so you'll get a little peek into that. I won't be in like the engine room or anything. I don't work in the engine room. Are you kidding? No, I'm not that cool. That would be kind of neat, but I'm definitely not that cool. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to show you some stuff here, and then you'll see some stuff in those videos, and then I'll come on and say goodbye, and then hopefully we'll continue this. I don't know how to edit. I don't have a name for this podcast. So we're just going to go with it, and you're just going to enjoy what I'm sharing, and that's it. That's what we're doing. Okay, I guess we'll do this first. It'd be really cool if I had the pattern, but I 100% do not. Because it's sitting on my cuddle chair in the living room, which it's fine. I will show it when it's a finished object and I'll tell you all about it. But anyway, the most important thing about this is the yarn because it's so beautiful. So this is going to be, it's a Jessie Made pattern and it's a V-neck pullover sweater. So much fun. The build is great. Corella DeVille is on there, rocking her socks off. So anyway, here's the shoulders, front panel, back panel. This yarn, guys, okay. just gonna get the full skein out and show you. This yarn is Dragon Horde yarn in her Gnome Tweed DK. And it's called Slutty Pumpkin. It's so great. Isn't this beautiful? Oh, I gotta figure out how to invert these videos. Anyway, note to self. Figure that out. So that's that Jessie made. V-neck. You'll see it again. I'll tell you about it later. If you really want to knit it right now, you can search on her patterns and I'm sure you'll be able to find it. You're very smart individuals. All right. The second WIP I have going is one of my Advent projects. It's a Cozy Up Knits pattern. It was their free blanket pattern, Advent blanket that came out, and you knit a square and then you attach them. I did not do all 3 squares. I only did the stockinette square and the garter square, the garter ridges square. I did not do the bobbles. The bobbles ended up like, I didn't have enough yarn to finish the square and it was, no. So this is also going to be bigger than the pattern suggests because I want it bigger. So I decided to do more minis. For this Advent calendar, I'm using the Dragon Horde yarn and Yarn Cafe Creations. I want to say it's year 5 Hogwarts. I can't remember. I held these double. I got a fingering weight calendar. I held them double. This is the first part. This is the ones I've gotten sewn together that are just killing it in their own little blanket. Blocked already. Isn't that pretty? And then this is just a little lone guy that I haven't sewn on yet. Gorgeous. So then I just took a bunch more Yarn Cafe Creations and Dragon Horde yarn minis, because I have a million. And I put them in a bag and I'm slowly working on the squares for that. It's a blanket. It'll take some time. I'm okay with that. I have a bunch of finished blankets. I know I finished them, so I'm not super worried. Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna have a sip of water. I don't have anybody next to me that can talk while I do this, so just enjoy me slurping. All right. My other WIP, and last one, to be honest, for now. I have much more than this on the needles. Come on now, people. This, after I just fixed my drop stitches, this is the Whitmore sweater. I don't know what it's by, but it's WHITMOOR, not MORE, MOOR. I haven't blocked it yet, but this is beautiful lace pattern. Isn't that pretty? I had to rip this back like 6 times. I'm not very good at lace, but I absolutely loved it. It's a beautiful lace pattern. It's not hard at all. I'm just not the most proficient lace person. I can brioche an entire sweater with no mistakes, but lace, I'm like, oh, and then I have to fix it, which is rip it back. Because I'm not willing to have a mistake in a sweater. Like, I spend so much time on it, you might as well rip it back. Anyway, I'm just working on the body, stockinette. This yarn is, oh, I just pulled out a bunch more stitches. You know what though? It's fine. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere because they're going right back on my needle. This yarn is actually super affordable, beautiful. It is the Knit Picks Upcycle Alpaca Blend. Worsted weight is definitely more of a DK. BT dubs. Don't believe them. Definitely more of a DK. They say worsted. They're lying. Totes lying. And the color, they have limited colors, so it's not even on here. Yes, it is. It's topaz. Topaz is the color. I love it. I also have a dark brown that I'm going to be doing another colorwork sweater. I say another colorwork sweater like I've shown you some. I've shown you one. But I'm going to do a colorwork sweater with it. And I do enjoy knitting with it. It is a little like hairy because it's alpaca, but it's beautiful, super soft. I don't like knitting with super scratchy yarn unless I'm knitting a colorwork sweater that I'm going to wear as like a jacket. So Not opposed to scratchy yarn. Don't get me wrong. 100% wool all day. All right. Now, we're going to talk about, well, you know what? I'm actually going to stop this video for now. When I come back, after you watch some more whips from me on the ship, I'm going to do like a closing video. I'm going to talk about my dream knitting, and then I'm going to talk about a couple acquisitions. I have been trying really hard not to buy yarn. I'm retiring in 3 years, and I have plenty of savings, but at the same time, a lot more savings. So I'm saving my money, but I'm also like, you know, if I can't live without something, I'm just going to buy it. So anyway, I'll share a couple of acquisitions with you, and then, yeah, and then some dream knitting of what I'm going to actually be casting on here in the next couple months. All right, I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, we're going to try this again. I tried to film these little short videos a couple underways ago, and I never did anything with them. So hopefully I have given you a introduction video. Oh, look, there's the bag of trash back there. Let's do this. Okay, here we go. Boo! Anyway, I'm Julie. I am in the Navy. I really have always wanted to try to start a knitting podcast, but I've never had time. I'm stationed on board a ship. If I move a lot, it's because we're in the ocean and it moves in the ocean. Crazy. Can't tell you where I'm at, but I am in the ocean. I'm in the Atlantic Ocean. So anyway, I've always wanted to film one, and I'm never home. So when I am home, it's spent with, you know, people I love and care about. And yeah, I don't really have the energy or the time to film a big giant podcast to be like, oh, hey, here's all the things that I did. So in the mornings, I wake up early on the ship. Excuse me, I'm getting over a sinus infection. But in the mornings, I wake up early on the ship, and I come to this office, and isn't it super glam? I come to this office and I knit for a few hours, a couple hours usually, before my day starts. Once my day starts, I don't get a lot of knitting time in until the evening, and then I knit a couple hours before I go to bed. So I'm finishing up right now. I'll just get into it. What we're doing here, these are going to be hopefully short videos pasted together, showing you everything I'm working on. I'm finishing right now the Auntie's Cowl, and this is by Candace of the Farmer's Daughter Fibers. Jeez Louise. And I had to switch. This is a darker yarn than what you're going to see in the rest of it. But you know what? We do what we got to do. So here's the end of it. And then I used a fade kit to go. Holy moly. Hers is not this long. But what I did is I just kept going until I had a big giant long cowl. So I'm finishing it up. I'm going to graft it together down here, and it's going to be, I hope a double wrap. It's going to be a real tight double wrap, but it's going to be really nice. Been working on this for quite a while. It's been on the ship. I haven't really taken it off of the ship, so it doesn't get as much work as some of my home projects. That's all I'm going to talk about right now. I've got my coffee in my, my old man face mug. I don't know if you can see this. All these mugs have this weird old man face. Super great. But these don't spill, so they're great for ships. And I've got my, my sweatshirt on. I've got my baggy coveralls on today. Coveralls are basically the only pajama uniform that we have. It's a onesie. And think overalls with sleeves, except really comfortable. And yeah, it's like the best uniform ever, because you're just in pajamas all day, essentially. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Enjoying my coffee, finishing up my knit, wishing the internet would work. It doesn't work. I have a mustache on this finger, a harmonica on this finger before anybody asks. And there's loads of other tattoos under here, but yeah, we're not going to get into that. Anyway, so yeah, see you guys in my next video. Okay, good morning. This is my second update. I haven't really had a whole lot going on, so I haven't found a reason to update. I'm still in my lovely office. Hey, at least we have a TV. I usually download Netflix shows and Amazon Prime videos, watch those there. So it's the morning. I don't even think I've had a sip of coffee yet. It's right here. I just wanted to quickly record. We should be pulling into the Netherlands in a couple days, which is really exciting. So because we're pulling into the Netherlands, I'm going to be able to, hopefully, as long as we pull in, go to the Stephen and Penelope yarn shop, which is, I mean, honestly, a dream come true. It's going to be really cool. So I've been trying to look up yarns and like look at his store and stuff, and if my web pages load. So since I last left you, I have been sprayed in the face with pepper spray. It's part of training, don't worry. Apparently we have to do it to learn it, learn how it feels. You know what it feels like? Pepper spray. So it feels like pepper in your eyes. It's terrible. So I got sprayed in the face with pepper spray. We've been battling 15 footsies, roughly. I say battling just because it's hard to walk in 15 footsies on this ship, or sleep, or anything. Last night was like the first night of sleep I've gotten in days. I mean, I've slept, but not well. This is the first good night of sleep I've gotten in days. I've been working on my Stephen West MCAL, the Twists and Turns MCAL. So there's that, and I'll show that to you. I'm still on Clue 2. I just started my second side. It's a slow roll. I don't get a ton of time to knit, but I mean, I get a pretty good amount of my off time. So there it is. I'm working on the second side. I am not purling. Sorry, Stephen. That's not happening. Maddie put it out on her We Share Needles podcast. She was like, yeah, I'm not purling. That's ridiculous. And I concur. I support that decision. So I'm also not going to purl. That's pretty much it. I've put a little, like maybe a couple inches on my Woolen Berries sweater that I'm working on, which I don't know if I've even showed. It's right here. Woolen Berries. Oh God. Whoops. There we go. Just a couple inches on that. I'm just doing it out of a Polka Dot Creek yarn. I think the color name is Toffee. So that's fun. So when I just need some straight vanilla knitting, I'm working on that. Yeah, that's about it. It's pretty exciting. I'm going to try to take some footage of Stephen and Penelope, as well as some footage of the Netherlands, so you guys can see that, because that's always fun. I've never been there, so I'm pretty excited about that. Other than that, that's it for now. I will update you guys as soon as I find something interesting to talk about. This is a short little video. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I haven't watched those videos yet. I mean, I watched them months ago, but like I haven't watched them recently, so it should be fine. You guys will enjoy it. It's definitely a different perspective. And like I said, I'm gonna we go on deployment here soon for a pretty extended period of time. And during that time, I'm going to be taking videos, and I'm going to hopefully also, I think I mentioned this before, but I'm going to take videos of when we pull into port, wherever that might be. So it might be someplace real cool, might be someplace real not cool, but you'll get to see it, and you guys can, you know, maybe I'll do some little shorts where I am, what I'm eating, whatever else. Should be kind of fun. Come along with me, travel along with me, and yeah, and we'll be knitting the whole time. I don't get a lot of knitting time on the ship, but I do try to make time for it. I think I mentioned that in my first video, is I wake up early and I try to make time for it because it really does relax me and makes me really happy. Okay, so now let's get into some dream knitting. Okay, the first one we're going to talk about is I'm going to make a mini Montrealer for my nephew. I have 10 nieces and nephews. 4 of those are my actual brother's kids. I have 2 brothers, and they have 2 kids. One of them has 2 boys. The other one has a boy and a girl. Then I have 3 first cousins, and I consider them my siblings because they were incredibly close. So I consider all their kids my nieces and nephews, and vice versa. So it's Auntie Julie to them, you know. So again, they all have 2 as well. The oldest 2 are Owen and Rachel. Owen is 19, which is so nuts. So nuts. And Rachel is 17, also nuts. They're beautiful, amazing children. All of them are beautiful, amazing children. Ambrose is the second, not the second youngest, the third youngest. You know what? It's really hard to keep track. So the rest of them are 10 and below, with the youngest being Muriel, Ambrose's brother, and he is, I think he just turned 3. Oh God, Cynthia, don't hate me. It's so terrible with birthdays. My mother makes me a calendar every year that she gives me at Christmas, and she puts everybody's birthday on there because I don't remember them, and I'm terrible at that. So she is so good at that, and she always puts birthdays on there, so I know everybody's birthday that's coming up. Thanks, Mom. Alrighty. So, Ambrose, he's great. I would show you a picture, but I don't know if his mom's okay with that, so I won't. He's great. He's wonderful. That family is, well, my entire family is knitworthy, but especially my brother Nick, my sister-in-law Cynthia, and their 2 kids. So I'm going to make him a mini Montrealer. This is the main color, tweed, this beautiful white tweed. This is from the Women's Institute. This is actually from the UK. I don't know where you could get it. You could probably go online and find it somewhere, but it's acrylic, 100% acrylic. And it is, oh wait, no. Well, yeah, acrylic and viscose, whatever. It's beautiful. It's super soft, super washable. Beautiful. I mean, you would never know it's acrylic. Gone are the days of our grandmother's acrylic where it squeaks when you run by. I'm sure some Red Heart still squeaks, but even them, man, some of the stuff is really nice. So we're going to do that. And if you haven't seen the mini Montrealer, it's from Designs by Dells. This is what I got as well. In my order, it's Polka Dot Creek, but it's not for the sweater. It's just a beautiful tweed, DK, spruce. I'll make a hat out of it eventually. I'll add it to the pile. But I got these 3 greens because he loves green, loves bright greens. So for the stripes, I'm going to do these 3 greens. We'll see. I don't know which order they're going to go in, but it's limeade, spearmint, and chartreuse. Those are blowing out a bit. That's all right. You get the idea. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be so cool. So I'm going to do that. That'll be a good little project. And then that will prep me for the man Montrealer I'm going to make. I have a pretty great man in my life, and he's super knitworthy, so I'm going to make him a sweater. When? No idea. But I need to be here for it because I want to make sure I measure him. And I want to make sure it fits along the way. So it is a top-down sweater, and I want to make sure I can try it on him, because if it doesn't fit, I want to be able to rip it back and adjust as necessary. He is not only handsome, but he's pretty muscular. So I have to, make a specialized sweater. But isn't that beautiful? That's the beautiful thing about knitting, is we can just make things for all kinds of different, body types, and we can adjust and add stitches and subtract stitches and do all that cool stuff. Anyway, enough about that now that I'm blushing. Speaking of him, I'll just go right into this. So he let me know that his favorite print ever is cheetah print. So I was like, no sugar, right? I was like, okay, well, I knit a hat like a couple years ago, and it's a cheetah print hat. If you just look up cheetah print hat, you can find it on Ravelry, but I'm going to make him a cheetah print hat. He knows about it. I'm not spoiling anything. But it's really cool. It's a colorwork hat, obviously, and it's got like the cheetah spots all the way up, but it's really neat. So this is Barocco Vintage Worsted in some charcoal colorway, and no idea what this is. None whatsoever. It's a worsted weight. I had it all skeined up. It's like the perfect color for it, so that's what I'm doing. That's that. I think I've knit him like 47 hats already. No, I've knit 3. But he wears them. You probably saw that in one of the videos, was the face mask that I made him, which is pretty cool. All right, dream knitting. All right, this one is for my best buddy, best friend. She's retiring. I just got really sad. Oh my goodness. Woo! She is on my ship. She's retiring really, really soon. It sucks when it's hard enough to maintain friendships in the Navy, because I'm terrible at keeping in touch with people. And a lot of us are, to be completely honest, but I have 3 absolutely amazing girlfriends in the Navy that I've kept in touch with. And, well, one of them isn't in the Navy, but still, it doesn't matter. Kept in touch with them. But when you meet somebody that's like a special friend, a special girlfriend, like, you don't want to say goodbye ever. And I have to. And that really sucks. And she keeps me sane when I'm on the ship, and I'm going to miss her terribly. So, yeah. Anyway, love her. She picked this out. It's Rose Hill Yarn. Rose Hill Yarns. And the color is Adrift. It's amazing. This is her fingering weight base. And I'm going to make a Musselburgh, whatever your poison is. I'm going to make that for her because she wants it. I've already made her a Musselburgh out of yarn she picked out from Stephen and Penelope, because we went there. And we went to the Netherlands. And we went to Amsterdam. And we went there at the store. I had a list. First of all, I had a list. Second of all, I spent a significant amount of money. And one of the skeins she picked out was this gorgeous gray yak silk. And it, so beautiful. It's like a steely gray. So it had like a little blue sheen to it. So pretty. So I made her a Musselburgh out of that already. And then I've got to make this one. She's asking me about it, which means I need to get my ass on it. But anyway, that's going to be for Bianca. She's the best. All right. One last stream knitting. This one is I had to write it down. The Kettle Valley shawl. It's a DK weight or worsted. I don't really remember. It's from the same designers that did the Myra hat. I want to say like Wool and Pine, but I think that's wrong. So I'm just not going to say anything. And this is kind of an acquisition as well. So this yarn dyer, oh my God. go onto Etsy. Go to Threads by Megan Nicole. There's a website, www.threadsbymegannicole.com, and her Etsy. I don't know if it's going to focus. It probably won't. Anyway, this yarn, I got this yarn. This is DK Silk Blend. 50% superwash merino, 50% silk. And I'm telling you right now, it's the softest. The colors are exactly what this is right on here on the screen. It's so beautiful. So beautiful. So I got these two to do because you need 120 grams of your main color, your color A, in this shawl. And then you need 2 other skeins. And I already had these two. What? It's going to be absolutely, positively breathtaking. And it's the softest thing I'm going to ever put around my neck. If you guys could touch this right now, you'd be like, holy crap. Yeah. Please go look at her shop. Her color's amazing. She has like a good Chilean yarn bases, and it's just worth it. It's amazing. I found her when I was underway. I was scrolling Etsy and trying not to buy yarn. That didn't work. And I found it and I saw that silk blend and I was like, ooh, that's a beautiful color. This is the color I first bought. It was, it's called bourbon, which is also my favorite drink. so I had to buy it. Naturally, to be specific, Woodford Reserve on the rocks. Anyway, so I had to buy it and it's just absolutely breathtaking. Like, this is what it looks like in the picture on her site, and this is what it looks like in real life. It's incredible. Okay, that's Dream Knitting. What? Crazy acquisitions. I'm going to show you a couple things, then I'm going to get the heck off here because it's been long enough. All right, I'm going to show you a bag first. Let me get the pin out so I can know where it's from. This was the Silver Shed on Etsy. The Silver Shed, and isn't that amazing? He's teaching the little kitties how to knit. Beautiful, beautiful bag, thick, big. It's gonna be amazing. I have so many bags, but I need more. Duh, I'm a bag lady. And then the other one I just got in. It's gonna crinkle, but you'll live. Yarn Cafe Creations is having a sale right now for fingering, DK, sport, worsted, where 4 skeins are $60. Like, what? So you don't get to pick the skeins or the bases, but 4 skeins for $60. Like, that's credible. Anyway, and I love her, so duh. But this is what she sent me. It's like she knows me. So I've got her Polworth base, her Superwash Merino base, her 100% Superwash Merino base. And I think that's 100% Superwash Merino again. Aren't they beautiful? I think she's discontinuing these colorways. So that's why they're in these little sale things. But oh my God. Love. No idea what I'm making. I just bought them. I bought them because they were an amazing price. So she's another one. Again, that's her box. That's the ones I don't have multiples of. So I have everything split off into some form of organization. But I have a lot of sweaters quantity of yarn. Again, yarn collecting, knitting and crocheting, totally different hobbies, right? For crocheting, I do blankets mostly. I'm working on a granny stripe, probably a few granny stripe blankets. And I'm also working on a square, like a blanket square thing here. I'm just going to reach over and show you so you can look at it. This is one of them, one of the finished squares. Pretty cool, huh? I was in a Harry Potter club where you would get 1 skein. Is from Forbidden Fiber Co. Also check her out. My God, I'm sure you guys were like, duh, Julie. But anyway, I had all these single skeins of Harry Potter colorways that were absolutely beautiful. And I didn't know what to do with them. So I started this and I figured out I could get 12 squares. And she also did different bases. So almost every month was a different base, like sparkle base, 100%. One was like a yak sometimes. It was just really cool. So she doesn't do that any longer, that particular club. I know she does other clubs. But I figured I could get 12 squares, no matter what base I used, sew them together. I've got a, like a stack back there. And I've still got a few. I don't know if you can see this. Here. Doo-doo. See these? I have to sew those up. So anyway, that's the crochet stuff. I don't knit a lot of socks. I used to. I have a lot of sock tubes that I got cranked that I like to knit into socks every once in a while, but I've got a bunch, so I don't really need to knit a bunch. Sweaters, definitely my jam. Definitely my jam. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to try to keep this up as often as possible. We're going to see. We're going to see where this goes. I guess it will kind of depend on how much I can get done. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, because I just don't, I can't hold myself to that standard when I'm underway. So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and yeah, don't be hateful in the comments, because that would be mean. No need for that. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. And I don't know what to say. Take care of each other. Be nice. Okay. Bye.